right, here we go. Ready to go. This time the green flag does fly. And Courcy on the gas. He's going to lead Albert down into turn 1. McCain and Searles down on the low side. Here comes Bump Scott in the 108. He'll pull alongside Albert in the 91. Down into turn number 3 and off turn 4. J.J. Courcy going to lead lap number 1. Scott. And now Chris Flemming up into the number 3 spot. Down into turn 3. Everybody negotiating. J.J. Courcy, your leader. Kevin Cook now making his way up into the number 4 spot underneath Albert and Searles. Turn number 4, J.J. Courcy. Here comes Flemming now taking a peek underneath the 108 of Bump Scott. Flemming will try to slide the Flemming Livestock number 10 underneath the low side of Bump Scott, but the bad boys got the top side covered. Yellow flag out onto the speedway for the 91 of Donnie Albert up there in turn number 4 on the high side for feature time. Bump Scott and J.J. Courcy up on the high side, picking the high side. As we get ready to go green. And there it is. And Courcy will power the 76 back into the number 1 spot. Off turn number 2, Kevin Cook with a good run. He'll pull alongside the 10 of Flemming down the back straightaway. Flemming trying to work the low side of the speedway underneath the 108 of Bump Scott. And doesn't have quite enough real estate to get the job done. He does a slide job. And he's going to lose a spot to Kevin Cook off turn number 2. Searles setting the number 5 spot. Top 5 qualify. Here we go. J.J. Courcy leading Bump Scott, Flemming, and Cook. And Searles rounding out your top 5. Parallel sticks now coming out. 2 more times around. J.J. Courcy out of Mexico, New York. Bump Scott up in the number 2 spot, getting some pressure from Kevin Flemming. Everybody working the top side of the speedway. White flag now being displayed one more time around for J.J. Courcy. Flemming trying to work that low side, but just not being able to do it. Scott will hold him off one more time. Down the back straightaway into turns 3 and 4. And the checkered flag's going to fall. J.J. Courcy going to pick up the win. Scott, Flemming, Cook, and Searles. Sitting on the front row, the 14L, that's Logan Terry. And outside of him in the K5, that's Nate DeGraw. Second row, the 12J, that's Jeff Cardinal. And outside of him in the 77X machine, that's Jerry Lobdell Jr. Row number 3, the 68 of Rich McNeil. And outside of him, the 96 of Mr. Mike Smith. Rounding up the field in the car 23, that's Will Turner. Okay. Turn 4, green flag going to come out. Here we go, IMCA. Side by side, down into turn 1. Logan Terry off the bottom and Nate DeGraw up on the high side. Lobdell looking for some running room. Can't seem to find any. And we're still side by side, 3 rows deep. Lobdell going to the high side, doing the power move. Goes from 3rd to 1st. And down the back straightaway, Jerry Lobdell, your race leader. Terry and DeGraw still side by side, holding up the field. Mike Smith threading the needle in the 96. Rich McNeil in the 31 machine. Smith up into the number 2 spot. As Lobdell got a big advantage. as McNeil will pilot the 31 machine to the low side of Logan Terry. Nate DeGraw losing the handle but hangs on. We stay green. There in IMCA qualifier number 2. Halfway down and halfway to go for Jerry Lobdell. Down into turn 3. Rich McNeil makes contact with the 14 and around. McNeil will go down in turn 3. Yellow will come out onto the speedway. Nose to tail, they're going to go. Down into 3, they're going to look for the green flag. There it is, off turn number 4. And Smith with a good run on the low side. And bobbles just a bit. And Lobdell will shoot off turn number 2. As Smith slowing down the back straightaway. Problem on the 96 machine as he will try to lift the 96 to the pit. As Lobdell will cross the stripe. And Smith makes it. We stay green. Logan Terry up into the number 2 spot. Here comes Rich McNeil under Jeff Cardinal. Looking for some running room. White flag going to come out for Jerry Lobdell. Clear sailing down into turn 3 for Jerry Lobdell. Going to pick up the win off turn number 4. Battles on for the number 2 spot as Lobdell will pick up the checkered flag. Lobdell will pick up the win. Logan Terry will settle in for the number 2 spot. Then it'll be Rich McNeil finishing 3rd, Jeff Cardinal finishing 4th, and Nate DeGraw will round out your top 5 here for our IMCA. Feature off pit road and up onto the speedway. Sitting on the front row out of Mexico, the 76 of J.J. Courcy. Outside of him, the 14L of Logan Terry. Second row has the K5 of Nate DeGraw. Outside of him, the 12J of Jeff Cardinal. Row number 3, the 108 of Bump Scott. Outside of him, the 77 of Jerry Lobdell Jr. Fourth row, the 99S of Dan Searles. And outside of him, the 31 of Rich McNeil. Fifth row, the number 10 of Chris Flemming. And outside of him, the 3X of Kevin Cook. Row number 6, the 27 of Joe Miles. And outside of him, the 25M of Doug McCain. Seventh row, the 96 of Mike Smith, and outside of him, the 91 of Donnie Albert. And rounding out the field, the 23 of Will Turner. You can pick your friends and you can pick your seat, but only you can pick your favorite, because here we go, it's feature time at Skyline. Here we go, the green flag is out. Courcy fires out of turn number 4 like a rocket. He'll take the group down into turn 1 off turn 2, and he's going to open up a 3-car advantage. Logan Terry and Jerry Lobdell now side by side for position number 2 as Courcy sets his sights on the stripe. Rich McNeil in the 31 up into the number 3 spot as Jeff Cardinal in the 12J tries to run down Logan Terry. Down into turn 3. Off turn 4. And watch out for the 23 slowing down the back straightaway as Will Turner in the 23 will come to a stop halfway down the backstretch. Good. And we are ready to go off turn 3 and into turn 4. The green flag is going to fly this time around. Courcy and Lobdell. And down into turn 1, the IMCA modifieds will charge as Courcy and Lobdell so side by side will battle for the number 1 spot. Rich McNeil in 3rd. Lobdell trying to make that low side work. And Courcy staying up on the high side, using the momentum and the cushion as they shoot off turn number 2, start to drop into line. Oh, off turn 4 and to the strike, Courcy. Lobdell still working the low side. McNeil, Flemming, and Searles making contact in 1 and 2, but they keep it together. Racy, tight action here in the IMCA modified feature. 5 laps in, 15 to go. Still side by side in the corners. Courcy up on the high side. Lobdell down on the low side. Nose to tail behind the front running 2, and Flemming and Searles once again down into turn 1 making contact. Flemming trying to use that lower groove. And we got caution out on the speedway down in turn number 3. Looks like the 108 of Bunk Scott down in there turned right around and bringing out the caution. Down into turn 3 we go. Turn 4, the green flag will fly. Here we go. Off turn 4. And we've got problems already. We got the 25. Dougie McCain and Bump Scott coming together right at the restart. J.J. Courcy, your race leader. Jerry Lobdell, your front row. Green flag comes out. We're back racing. And once again, side-by-side action up in turns 1 and 2. J.J. Courcy managing to wrestle number 1 spot away, and here comes Chris Flemming making a move and trying to thread the needle. Flemming on the high side of Lobdell, challenging for the number 2 spot. Courcy up on the high side, got the momentum and the lead down the back straightaway as Flemming and Lobdell now battle side by side. Off turn number 4. Kevin Cook now up into the number 4 spot. Rich McNeil running in 5th. And off turn 2, it's still Courcy, Flemming, Lobdell, Cook, and McNeil. A little bit of contact between Lobdell and Flemming off turn number 4. Cook now working the high side of the speedway. He'll draw a line. Lobdell down the back straightaway for the number 3 spot. And they'll go side by side down into 3 and 4. Courcy, still your race leader. Flemming, Cook now into the number 3 spot. Lobdell running 4th. McNeil in the number 5 spot as we go nose to tail down the back straightaway. Everybody using the upper line now, starting to settle in as we are 11 laps in this 20-lap feature go. Joe Miles making contact down the back straight, but he manages to make it to pit road, and we stay green. Our leaders off turn number 4, Courcy, Flemming, Cook, beginning to pull away from Lobdell and McNeil. We stay green. Courcy, Kevin Cook, and Flemming now side by side for the number 2 spot. Flemming with a run down to the low side. Cook on the high side. Down into turn 3 they will go. Courcy up on the high side. He's going to lead lap number 24. 14. Side by side off turn number 2. 14 in the books. 15 in the books. 5 to go. Courcy and Flemming 1-2. Cook in third, Lobdell fourth, and McNeil, your top 5. Closing stages here of our IMCA feature event. As Flemming now side by side with Courcy at the stripe. Flemming trying to make the low side work, and momentarily has the lead halfway down the back straightaway. Off turn number 4, parallel sticks coming out. Flemming will be credited with a 18-lap lead. Will he be able to make it hold? Courcy with a good run off turn number 2. Comes right back on the high side. He'll drive it in hard and wide as the white flag will come out. And Courcy protects the low side of the speedway. Flemming tries to work the low side, but Courcy will slam the door. And we'll go to the high side to challenge. Off turn number 4, checkered flag gonna come out. And it's going to be Courcy, Flemming, Cook, Lobdell.
Congratulations to Mr. JJ Internet Courcy. Hi JJ. This is awesome. This is my 2nd time in this car, and this is like the 7th time I've raced all year long.
Oh, well, I'll tell you what, you pulled that one off by about maybe that much.
Chris is tough. He was there, and he had me for a while, and I'm like, I just got to go big or go home. So I just started pushing it harder, and I seen the lap car up there, and I said, well, if I get him out of 4, I'm diving to the bottom, and I got to take his line from him so I can keep him behind me. And it worked, and he still come back next to me there, but luckily the flagger stands not 20 feet further. It might have been different.
Yeah, like I said, you were running the high side, he had the bottom side, you guys going lap after lap. You dive into turn 1 and 2, and you shoot right down to the bottom in front of him, and he shoots to the high side, and I thought he was going to get you.
Yeah, well, that's racing. I like racing with Chris. He's a good, clean racer. You know, if he gets in, he gets an accident. It's always fun running with Chris.
Yeah, right behind him was the 3X, so at times you guys were like 3 wide.
Yeah, I never saw him.
All right, well, congratulations.
I got to thank Brian Van Tassel for letting me drive his car. He puts together an awesome machine. Thank my girls for coming. They haven't been to a race in a long time, much less when I won. My sister, my fiance, getting married in a month, can't wait. Lucky man. Just wish my dad could have been here, but maybe next week or something.
We'll read about this on Facebook.
No, probably. You can read a lot. You can read a lot on Facebook.
Second place tonight, Mr. Chris Flemming. It was just a little bit. I thought you were going to fight back. Almost got it.
Yeah, we gave her hell for sure. That's probably the most fun I've had in one of these things. Sometimes I thought we were going to wreck, and we never really touched. It was really close going into 1 there. But you know,
yeah, he had the high side, you had the bottom side, and
then he switched it up.
Then he switched it up and brought it right down in front of you, and I said, and then you went to the outside, and I thought it was going to work.
Yeah, you know, it's cool for Brian. You know, he's been working on this thing all year. You know, he's got JJ in it now, but he's worked his ass off trying to get this thing running, and he's helped me out a bunch this year, so it's kind of cool to see that one. I'll take a second for a second week in a row. You know, it's always next week, I guess.
All right, congratulations, Chris.
Said lost.
Well, 3rd place isn't quite losing, but not winner tonight, but 3rd's not bad.
No, not bad at all. We were all pretty close there. You know, I could have had it there on the bottom once or twice when I got together, and I just missed it by a little bit. That's how it goes.
Yeah, I see you were there. They were, you know, when they give you room, and you guys were having a hell of a race.
Yeah, it was a real good race. I had fun. It took them like 5 minutes.
Who's your favorite driver?
99 pits.
Daddy. Congratulations.